this is Ceema, and today I will be bringing you a new lesson on idioms related to time. Well, all of us know that time is very precious. Most of us do not have enough of time, and some of us wish we had more. Well, there are lots of expressions and idioms related to time. So here we are going to check out a few. So we'll do them real quick, okay, because we have no time to lose. The first one is in the nick of time. Well, what does this phrase mean? In the nick of time is nothing but doing or finishing something at the last possible moment. So for example, you were arriving for your exams, which must have begun, say, at around 9 o'clock in the morning, and you arrived at just 8:59. You're like in the nick of time because you arrived or you did something at the last possible moment. Otherwise, you would have been late. So in the nick of time is arriving at the last possible moment. Moving on to turn back the hands of time. Well, have you seen a clock? Yeah, most of you have. So if you see, the clock always, moves. The hands of the clock always move in the right direction. If I had to turn back the hands of time, I would literally have to, reverse the movement of the hands of the clock. So turning back the hands of time is nothing but indicating a desire to go back to the past, a desire to visit your past. This expression is mainly used in regret. It is mainly used when you're kind of longing for something that was, way back in the past, but you don't have it anymore. So I could say, I wish I could turn back the hands of time and visit my childhood, because childhood is something that we all love. Or I could say that I wish I could turn back the hands of time and, I have done things differently, because we've all made a lot of mistakes. So turning back the hands of time indicates a desire to visit the past, and it normally is used when you kind of regret your past actions. Okay, moving on to time flies. What does time flies mean? Well, time does not literally fly, but time flies means that time passes too quickly. Doesn't it ever annoy you that, whenever you are having a good time, you're at a fun place, or just, going for a party, the time just goes by and you don't know when it's time to leave. So that's what we mean by time flies. When time passes quickly, which happens mostly in good times, that's when you use this phrase. Moving on to save time. We all have heard about saving money, saving water, saving our earth. But what is saving time? Saving time is nothing but doing things in a quicker way, in a quicker or a faster way, and thereby, cutting on your time. So, suppose I walk to school every day, and a certain route that takes me to school takes 40 minutes. But if I want to save time, I can walk through like maybe another way, maybe through the woods, and I could reach school in 25 minutes. So that way I do things, or I walk the same, to the same place, but I do it in a much quicker time. So that's the way I am saving time. All right. Moving on to spare time. What does spare time mean? Spare time is nothing but free time. So spare time, or free time as we call it, is nothing but time used to do something when you are not working or not studying. So it is mainly time used for recreational purposes or time to pursue your hobbies. So I could say that in my spare time, I indulge in reading English, or in my spare time, I learn French, or in my spare time, I play the guitar. Because during my spare time, I don't go to work, I don't study, I don't feed the children. I do what I want to do. So it's something that I love to do. Okay, it's my free time. It's me time. All right. Moving on to as time goes by. Well, this is a phrase that is used to indicate the passage of time. So this indicates the passage of time. So I could say something like as time goes by, or with the passage of time, people tend to change, or with the passage of time, children tend to get naughtier. So basically, as time goes by refers to time that is quickly moving, and you're kind of talking about the changes involved when the time goes by. Well, let's look at a time for a change. Time for a change is nothing but time to start something new. So you're looking to start something completely different. So basically, this phrase indicates that you want to stop what you were doing all this while, and now it is time for a change. So maybe you were working in a job for, say, like 5 years, you're totally stressed, you're burnt out, and now you decide that it is time to start something very new. And therefore, you may say something like, it's time for a change, so let me get a new job. Okay, moving on to time is money. Time is money indicates that time is a very valuable commodity. A lot of us value our time. And therefore, time is money. Money has value, and so is time. Because a lot of people waste our time sometimes, and therefore we use this phrase to show that, look, you can't waste my time. Time is money. So in case somebody keeps you waiting all day, you could say something like, you can't keep me waiting all day. Time is money. It's very valuable to me. Moving on to time heals all wounds. The wounds in this phrase refers to emotional hurt and not the physical ones. So time heals all wounds indicates that, time erases or removes emotional hurt or emotional scars. So sometimes, when people go through a lot of hardship in life and they have a lot of problems, you tell them, you pacify them, telling them that, look, time will heal all your wounds, which means that with the passage of time, or as time goes by, like we learned a while earlier, time will make them recover from their emotional scars. So basically, we're referring to emotional hurts, pains, struggles, and not physical wounds. Moving on to only time will tell. Sometimes we're not sure of something, we don't know the truth. We need to find out about what is going to happen in the future. So only with the passage of time will we know what's going to happen, and that is when we use the phrase only time will tell. So time will give us the idea or truth in the future. It's basically the passage of time. So as time goes by, so maybe you have a business, okay, you have a business and you are, you have a project and you give your idea, so does your colleague, and only one idea is going to be selected, but both ideas are considered as potential ones for a particular project, but you're not sure whether yours is going to be selected or not. And that's when you say only time will tell, because you are not sure about an idea or truth that is going to take place in the future. And that is when I use the terminology only time will tell. This terminology is basically used when you are uncertain about a certain thing that's going to happen. Moving on to a whale of a time. A whale of a time is nothing but a great time. So I'm at a party, I'm having a lot of fun. So I say, I am having a whale of a time. I went to my cousin's wedding the other day and I had a whale of a time. It basically indicates a great time that we have. Mainly a party time, okay? Moving on to a hard time. Well, a hard time is something none of us like to have. A hard time indicates hardships, struggles, suffering, problems, all of which we want to run away from. But unfortunately, we all go through a hard time. So when we have emotional problems, or when we have a sudden demise in the family, or a sudden loss of job, or a breakup in relationships, we talk about having a hard time because we're unable to cope, or it's very difficult for us to cope with something, and that's what hard time means. It is hardships, sufferings, and problems. Well, that's it for the lesson on idioms related to time. I'm sure you are hard pressed for time, so please have a look at these idioms, practice them, and use them as often as you can, because I'm sure all of you are going to get a chance to do so. You have a very good day. I'll see you soon.